What's up, everybody? We're gonna let this song rock out. My big homie, Big Mo.
What's happening?
For all our viewers checking us out on YouTube, thank you guys for coming in. Make sure to tap in that chat line. Let us know that you guys are here. If you guys are listening through the Good News Radio Network app, make sure to go ahead and tap in their chat line. Go ahead and log in through the app and let us know you guys are here as well. We have a giveaway today. Excited to shout that out.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Said Connects. This is your host, Danny. I'm actually solo in the studio today, but we have a special guest in the house. But welcome back. Said Connects, Cannabis Entrepreneurial Dialogues. Our mission is to create spaces for people and brands of color to elevate their stories, educate and empower our communities. We want to take a special shout out to our sponsors. Got a few sponsors in the house today. First sponsor that we have is Smoke Apparel. Smoke Apparel is a cannabis lifestyle brand that advocates for social equity. They have some of the best gear out there. If you want to go ahead, you see us rocking it every week right now. We have the guests as well. Chef also rocking his smoke hat. But if you're interested, go ahead
I
and
got the
visit
shirt
their
too.
website. Oh, and you got the shirt too. And he got the shirt.
It's too comfy.
Check out it is the brand the gear that they have, man. It's one of they have some great quality.
Yeah.
And you definitely would appreciate that. But go ahead and check them out at smokeapparel.com. That's SHMOKE apparel.com. The other sponsor that we have is Can. They're one of our sponsors as well. They've been rocking with us for the last few weeks now, and they're a infused cannabis drink brand, low dosage as well. They create low dosage drinks that provide a similar buzz without the hangover. You can find their brands at your local dispensary, or you can visit their website at drinkcan.com. That's drink can double N at the end, or look at their Instagram at drink can. So make sure you give them a shout out. Let them know that you heard them from us, and they should be able to help hook you guys up as well. We got the chat lines already coming on. We have Laura Brasca saying, "Hey." We got Sheila like those hats and the hoodies. Absolutely. Um, we want to go ahead and get rolling with this. We have we have Chef Mike Moya in the house. What's up, Chef? How are you today?
How you doing, guys? Appreciate the time. Sorry I couldn't make it live, but we'll come back around. We'll come back around.
Absolutely. We'll definitely make that happen as well. Um, Trying to get things rolling over here on this end. I'm having some little since I'm here solo in the building today. It's kind of like I'm doing so many things at once.
Yeah. No, take your time. Take your time.
Let's see. Does this work? Yeah. Cool. So what's up, man? How are you doing today, boss?
Monday, every day's a Monday in the cannabis industry. You're just on it 24/7. So, super busy. Got a lot happening this 2022, and very excited on what the path is, how it's opening up for us now with things coming back to normal. So super excited with that, and like yourself, just staying busy with the community and trying to get to events and stay active.
Absolutely. And one thing that I did forget to notice for the listeners that are tuning in and viewing, we had a post last week. And also want to say Happy New Year's, right?
Yeah.
Happy New Year's to everyone. Happy New Year's to all the viewers. Happy New Year's to the listeners. But we did have a post. If you guys are following us on Instagram at said_connect, CED_connects, we had a giveaway. We have a giveaway from Originals. We have a grinder. We have a rolling tray that we're going to be announcing the winner later today. And so if the winner is listening in, we will throw in a little extra as well. But we'll definitely have some time in the show to be able to announce the winner and have that going as well. So I'm excited about that too. I'm excited about um, having this is our first giveaway, and I wasn't sure how to really how it was gonna work out, how it was gonna pan
Yeah.
out. Um, I was a little nervous that we'll probably only get like one or two people that signed up, but
Yeah.
we had a good turnout, man. So I'm definitely excited about that. But
Let's go. Let's
so,
have some smoke apparel to those giveaways. Hey,
yeah, for sure, we're definitely gonna see about getting some Shmoke apparel on some more giveaways.
there
We'll
you
talk
go.
to those guys as well and see about making that happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So talk to me about where you're from, chef.
So I'm originally from Florida, but I was raised in El Paso, Texas. So I like to call that home. Obviously, I've been in California for about 6 years now, so this is home now. I'm acclimated, and I love everything that California has to offer. So, but yeah, El Paso is when I usually go visit family. That's El Paso, Texas. That's kind of where we go. And Juarez, Juarez, Mexico is another place which is right across the border from them. So yeah, I see a comment whose birthday was it? It was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I just left it up there. So yes, sorry the background. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I came out to California about 6 years ago with the dream to, have a edible company. And in 2018, I was able to compete in the High Times Top Cannabis Chef competition, and that really just I won the competition, and that really allowed my chef presence to be in the cannabis industry and slowly bring to life my brand, which is Dulce.
So,
Um,
before we get all the way
hey,
there,
yeah.
uh,
Hit me.
before all of that, we actually said happy late birthday. But I saw that you were a winner of the Chef High Times, and
Yeah, yeah.
um, but before even getting there, talk to us about your upbringing. What was your upbringing like? Just in general, and what was the messaging behind cannabis growing up for you?
Okay. Well, obviously, living in Juarez, growing up in Juarez, marijuana was always, the thugs and the narcs and the drug dealers. So it was always looked negative, And me as a student athlete, I was always against it, and I was more. I was more involved with the drinking because as a Latino, drinking is just, since a young age. So I was more of a drinker even through high school. I didn't really get to consume cannabis till college, and that's when things really started to to see the difference of what these different components, cannabis to liquor, what they do and how they mess my body and my reaction times and things like that. And it just gradually changed from college till now. It's been a nonstop medicine. I've never been a fan of pain pills.
Yeah.
So as an athlete, that's one of the main things that we get involved with. Drugs and pills and
What,
liquor.
what sport did you play?
I was a football player.
Okay.
I got an opportunity to play college ball in Southwest Minnesota State. So I
Nice.
left Texas young. At 18, I left Texas, and I went to Minnesota to pursue my dream of playing college ball, Division II, and at the same time culinary arts, which was a very um, strange thing to be able to get a bachelor's degree in culinary arts, yet a hotel restaurant management, and also get to play football. So
Yeah.
it was just best of both worlds. I love my college experience, and it allowed me to meet a lot of people from all over the world and be able to adapt to culture and the cold, and a lot of cool things happened. So that's kind of
That,
how I started. It
that
was in
that's dope.
Minnesota.
And that's cool because I remember when I was in college, I made friends with all the culinary art, like all the folks that were in culinary arts, like those were like my best friends because all the food you guys were making, like
Yeah,
it had
yeah,
to go somewhere.
yep,
And so we were like, "Yo, here, are you gonna eat that? Are you gonna let me try your meal. Let me try this. Let me try that."
yeah.
So I definitely got a bunch of free meals from all of my friends that were like in the culinary department.
Hell yeah, yeah. It was a great experience.
and and so from that you graduated, you went through the whole program,
Mhm.
and then you said restaurant management.
Right.
What was that like for you? What was that like experience like working in the kitchen?
I mean, for me, it's always been like a second nature kind of thing. I've always told people that I'm like a kitchen baby, just because I, all my early memories of childhood, it relates to being in the food industry type of environment. If that's a big factories where my uncle was serving 700 people at a time, 3 times a day, or my mom's food truck, or my mom's some type of business. So a lot of my cousins and family members became chefs and are currently in culinary school because it's just something that naturally the family is kind of like a gift, and we put a lot of love into the cooking, and we love the hard work part of it and the leadership part of it, and so many different aspects of being in the kitchen that really motivates me to do more. And
Yeah.
I think that's what that was like the main goal is that. Um,
So originally your goal was it to like have a restaurant? Was that the original goal, or was it always a trend that you knew you wanted to transition into cannabis?
No, no, not at all. I
Okay.
think food has only always been my survival mode. Like, I've been able to be independent since I was 14, 15 years old because I've worked in the food industry. So I think having that empowerment of like I can be independent and grow and go to college and do all this stuff with with food always there by my side, it just I always succeeded, and I always excelled, and I always was put at a high rank position because of my hard work and my dedication and my skills. So it just I loved it. When I got to California, I became executive chef at like 22 in El Paso, Texas, right out of college. And I did that for like 3 years, and I thought I was at the top of my game. And I got a hold of some cannabis, and I thought that was the next move. So I moved to California, and I got a chance to polish my skills there in San Diego, in La Jolla, at a great restaurant called Catania. And as I was working, I kept working with the cannabis because what we do is a lot different than a lot of people. We put a lot of work behind our product, so it was a lot of learning curves for me, and learning about testing my product and how much money costs and things like that. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so with all that being said, and now that you went from Minnesota back to El Paso
Mm-hmm.
and down to California with San Diego and getting into that.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
talk to me about the process of like when you started, you know, experimenting essentially, right? You were first experimenting with it. What were some hits and misses with some of the first meals that you tried infusing?
Yeah. I mean, the classic story of how Dulce and how we came about was really um, s- someone giving me a gift as a joke, of a video of how to extract cannabis, and I was very intrigued as a chef, and I got the opportunity to make a little batch in Texas, and it came out amazing. And I took the product that I made over to Mexico, and I got my family to try it and to tell them that I was moving to California to be this dream of making edibles for somebody or someone. And seeing the reaction that my grandma had with the cannabis consumption, which she hadn't done in a long time since my grandpa had died, probably. And her sister, who's a nun, who had never consumed any kind of, uh, active, you should call it, seeing the difference that it had on them at their age, it just, and my mom too, it just made me understand that there's a lot more to learn from this medicine, and if
Yeah.
I could find a way to dose it correctly and make people feel comfortable and actually have great experiences with the consumption of cannabis, then we could have a good opportunity of making something real, something serious.
Right.
And that's what happened, man. They were a little hesitant at first because
Sure.
obviously it's cannabis, so they just thought I was going to be a drug dealer and this and that. And I mean, obviously, people got to do what they got to do in this industry, but I've always tried to do things by the book, as correct as I can, with the best intentions, without cheating anyone. And I think that's why I've gotten these opportunities. Gotten the opportunities to keep pushing.
Yeah, and we got questions coming through. We got Lotus on the chat line. We love that sharing with family and elders.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
asking, what was their reaction when they did try your infused meal or
Yeah, so I mean, I took them my polvorones, which is a sugar vegan sugar cookie that we're hoping that we can bring out this year. But they split one of those cookies, and my grandma has polio, so she's always been in a wheelchair, and she's had a limited lifestyle. And just seeing her be positive and talkative and happy and eating, and she she would tell me, she was sitting next to me and she would tell me, Mijo, I'm feeling way too good. And I was like, yeah, grandma, it's the cannabis kicking in and it's slowly going to take over, but don't worry, it's going to stay like this for a little bit. And she was like, no, 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 mijo, I feel way too good. This isn't going to last forever, is it? So, ever since then, I was like,
that.
I wish it would last forever, like,
Yeah,
oh my God, but um and and that was it. That was like the light bulb. I'm like, okay,
right.
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to California and figure it out. Figure it out. Here we
Yeah,
are 6 years later, and it's been a ride. I'll tell you
and so I'm assuming that's where the branding of Abuelita approved
that.
comes
Yes,
from.
yes, sir.
And,
That's
and
that's
so
the origin.
now that we're here, you have the product that's called Dulce, right?
Dulce.
Dulce. And how did that name come about?
um I mean, I just like I like to use words in double meanings, and I like to change letters and words to just make it flair and things like that. I just wanted something to really get to the point, And dulce means sweet and candy, so I figured that's it. Except I threw the Z in there for some flair, just so I can my logo could look good. But in reality, making that change, that Z from a C to a Z, literally made it legal for me to use the name for my brand.
Yeah. Uh,
So
you
it
want to
is,
show us the brand?
huh?
You
Yeah.
had the package, right? Yeah, and actually what caught um that's what caught our attention. We have Laura on the chat line saying that's great. I'm looking for a medical strain that will work for me. I love seeing the emotion you have speaking of your family. Um, but the branding and the packaging is actually what caught our attention when we went into one of the shops. We were in there. We were looking. We were at Yerba Dispensary in Boyle Heights,
Shout
and
out, shout out.
shout out to Yerba, shout out to Guillermo and the team there. And while we were there, we're just kind of. It was the first week that they opened up, and we were around. We were looking around, and the packaging is what caught Julia's eye. Julia, being the co-host and my partner, um, and so the packaging caught her eye, and she was like, "I love their packaging. I love the design, the look, the sugar skull, the branding, the name, and so we picked up the horchata flavor and the watermelon is a watermelon the
It's a chili watermelon.
chili watermelon.
Chili
Um, And so we picked that up, and then we also noticed that it was a low dosage. It was 2 milligrams um, THC within the packaging, and so we were like, "Oh, let's try this out. Let's see how this works." And we heard nothing but good things about you from the team, from the bud tenders, from the owners of Yerba. And so we were like, all right, let's see how we can connect and how we can make this happen. So
Yeah.
shout out to you, shout out to creating something that is very appealing, and it'll catch the eye of folks, and then being conscious about the low dosage. Was that always the plan for you? Was like you want to start low for folks to be able to introduce edibles?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, in this stage of the cannabis industry, there's still a lot of education to be said. I think there's still a lot of miscommunication, misinterpretation of what dosing is and what extractions will do and how they're different. And a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that there's Delta 8, Delta 9, CBD. Uh, uh, there's rosin, there's wax, there's distillate, there's coconut oil extraction, there's butter, there's live rosin, there's so many different ways of extractions that
Yeah.
I don't think in the edible world it's very clear of what people are using and what quality grade they're using. And that is a slap in the face to someone like me who puts so much work and effort into searching the best flour, turning it into coconut oil, getting it lab tested, formulating our recipes. There's so much more. There's no middleman. There's nobody. I'm trying to get the cheapest THC concentrations or this and that. Like, we're doing everything in house, and we're very proud of that process.
So how does the percentage of THC on a particular strain that you pick up or you purchase, does that change the formula to keep it a low dosage? Like, are you constantly working? Like, are you like a mathematician now, or like you're constantly having all these? All I can picture is like, that meme where
Yeah,
all the formulas and stuff
yeah.
going on. Like,
How to
it,
take your girlfriend to pick dinner or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it has all of the formulas there. Is that constantly what's going on for you, or did you already figure out that, let's say, 20%, a 20% flour will you've already figured out the formula, so you're only sourcing that type of percentage? Like, what does that look like for you?
Definitely. I mean, when it comes to us, we want the best quality flour available indoor, because that concentration of THC to will allow our coconut oil to reach the milligrams per gram that we needed for the recipes to work.
Right.
So there is a big process of what we do on making sure there's a lot of qualifications for that flour before we intake, or else it just won't work. It just, there's been so much trial and error on the way we do our thing that we have to go through those protocols to make sure that we get the best quality product at all times. um, Now we wanted to do low dose. We only offer 2 milligrams of THC, giving you 50 gummies, 2 milligrams each piece. And we do that because that's a true microdose. It's the lowest dose per piece in a 100 milligram pack gummy. And we did that because, one, we want people to enjoy the gummies and not have to think too much of how much we're doing. But
Yeah.
if you do need a lot of control on how much you're taking, then it's the perfect way to go from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 instead of straight to 10 and then never trying it again, and leaving those edibles for somebody else to eat them or
Yeah.
try the experience. We
Right.
don't want that. We want people to use it continuously at all times in their everyday life. And I think that's why people, our consumers, our Dulce Familia, really comes back and consumes Dulce more, because even though they're going to get the consistency of that high, it's always going to be slightly different because I'm sourcing cannabis every 5,000 units. So every 5 to 10,000 units, there's a new collaboration of souls that we've extracted.
Right.
So, but the numbers are always going to be there to show the how relatively close we are to that dose.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the cool thing about us is that even though it's the same flavors that you like, the feelings that you're gonna get from the plants are always gonna be a tad different.
So does that mean that if I get, let's say, the horchata one like 1 month, and then I have, or the horchata and then that watermelon or the margarita, um each one obviously will have a different flavor, but it'll also have different effects as well.
It will have different effects. Not very. It's not going to be very drastic. But
Right.
if you consume enough that you know your doses,
Yeah.
like 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 my partner, she eats 2 gummies and she's good. She
Yeah.
knows that if she gets the third, it's like it's on, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, and she knows that in 2 to 3 is where she wants to be,
Yeah.
but it's always going to be a little bit different because again, everyone's different. Your
Uh,
mood changes at all time. Your stress level is different from morning to night, and Dulce is just there to make you feel comfortable, get you through the day, get you motivated, get you rested if you need it, get you, in focus, or just get you sloshed if that's what you are into. Like there's a little bit of everything. Even though it's microdose, we still give you 100 milligrams,
right.
and we're not giving you. And just because it's 50 pieces doesn't mean I'm giving you 100 grams of product. It's still the average of 55 grams. So don't think that, oh, there's so much more sugar and this and that. It's not the case, because and relatively how much it weighs net is relatively small.
Nice. And that's what I like about it too. And for listeners, that if maybe you guys just come in, we have Chef Mike Moya, creator of Dulce, in the building today. Um, that's what I really liked about the product is I can take two. Once I start to feel it, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I could pop in another two to let it last a lot longer, right? And let it ride out longer. And so that's kind of how I operate my days. Like I'll try a bit. Once I start to feel it, because I know it's gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes to start
Correct.
to affect, right? So, all right, cool. I felt it. Cool. Let me pop in another two so that I know 45 minutes from this point, I'm gonna start to feel the two from here, and I'm gonna just keep riding
Writing
it out.
it. Right.
Yeah, and so
And,
that
and for and for the consumers that always give me, well, I smoke a lot and I eat a lot and I do. I was like, that's fine, but for you, you're the type of person that I want you to eat these while you're smoking, so that high can last you even longer. Like it just, again, the product's meant for everybody and to be shared. I think sharing is the best way to get people to try, because if you share one or two or three, it's not a big deal and people will still get the
yeah,
effect, and you'll get them to understand it, bro. Like we just need people to understand it and give it a chance. Like the problem with edibles is that right now there's the people that are scared of it because they've had bad experiences, or the people that only 1,000 milligram fake gummies that don't even give you 200.
yeah.
Like that's just the market that we're in, and we just gotta. As long as we keep doing what we're doing, I know we'll be all right.
Yeah, and so before we go even further, let's go ahead and we've been in for a few minutes. Let's get this
Raffle.
the raffle going.
Yeah.
Um, I got the names here. I don't know if folks can see here. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and click the button and it'll show the name. Got all the names that subscribe. Let's see. Let's tap there. And we got a name there. Let's see. What does the name say? It says Raices 420. Raices
Let's go.
420. They're the lucky winner, and they're out of Arizona. I've
Oh,
had a chance to speak with her a few times. um, and she's working on a few things that I think you guys can connect. But ISIS 420, if you're listening, if you're tuning in, we'll call your name out a few times while we're listening, while we're having this conversation. But ISIS, we're gonna go ahead and send you guys the originals rolling tray along with the originals grinder here. So shout out to originals for providing this here, and shout out to you, ISIS. Thank you for um you know, what's the
Joining,
word? I can't even think of the word.
participating.
Participating. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But let's go back to the questions that I had. So what are some of the steps that you're taking to educate folks on edibles?
This year I'm putting a lot of effort into that this year with some some more podcasts, of course. Trying to do some videos with some good friends on some reviews. I just want to be the I want to be able to review all the competition, not just competition, but the products that people are putting out to give people some really good feedback on on what it is that's out there and not get screwed on your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of informational videos that I want to do regarding what we do, because I feel like there's still a lot of education behind the Dulce brand, that we have to educate people on our extraction process, why it's different, and why our low dose is a great opportunity to get people introduced into the consumption of edibles, and
Yeah.
for the people that already are accustomed to it, a different extraction process that is going to give you a different effect. So it's all
So,
about, again, trying it.
and we got some questions here, and I'm glad Julia's Julia. Thank you, babe. Thank you for listening. So she wrote ahead. The flavor is important. What made you choose to roll out the ones that you have? Any new ones aside from cookies coming down the pipeline?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really get to talk much about the flavors, but we have four main flavors: chili watermelon, horchata, piña colada, and margarita. All of our gummies, the flavor matches the coating to really give you a full experience of what we're trying to showcase, which is a very balanced gummy that is more artisanal and hands-on. Um, we It started off with the chili watermelon. I think I wanted to replicate La Paleta de Sandia, the watermelon lollipop that
Yeah.
Mexicans are all like. It has to be our favorite candy of all time. I wanted to recreate that in a gummy form, and it took me at least a year and a half to not maybe 2 years to really understand what chili powder does to gummies and how it's a crazy task. But I think nailing that flavor really solidified our gummy line. And then after that, the pina colada was something that was just very neutral, that I knew everyone could relate to. So if you didn't want the spicy, you could go to the straight cooler and refresh gummy. Those were our main two. The third SKU was a horchata, was more of a dare or
I'm glad
um,
that dare happened because I
yeah,
love
a
that.
dare or like a challenge. They didn't think I could make a gummy that would just stay sweet and not have sour notes and be creamy and be. So creating that one was a bit of a challenge, but we nailed it, and it's one of our top sellers. And it goes well with coffee. Like the gummy melts right into hot coffee, so now it infuses the coffee, and it's just another opportunity to play around with dulce.
Yeah.
And then the newer flavor is our margarita flavor, and that's the one I'm more excited about, because that really showcased my culinology degree and how I'm really good at mixing flavors, and I call it compound flavors, and really coming up with some unique profiles that will play with your flavor profile, and it'll almost make it seem like it's a very balanced gummy because it has salt on the coating. So it's just a dope experience that is gonna catch on soon as one of the favorites. New stuff. I have some vegan ideas that we want to bring out because our product is not vegan. It's kosher, meaning it's a beef based gelatin. There's no pork gelatin, so we go a bit above and beyond with that. But it's not vegan. I do have a Jamaica or a tamarindo gummy that I'm looking at, and some collabs. I got some cool collabs with some people happening, so I'm hoping that that's pulls through.
Yeah, no, and we're definitely excited about those collabs that are coming through. We have the chat lines going on. Congratulations. I want to have I want that pina colada and what you had me at coffee. That coffee idea is dope too. Like coffee, yes, by Laura. That because that's a whole new ball game there, right? That's like a whole new skew in a sense, a whole new flavor that you can introduce our folks too. Is everyone always likes to have a cup of coffee
Hmm.
to start their day, to throughout the day, to end their night. So to have an opportunity to be able to just introduce it even in that sense, I think is dope, man, and it's genius in a sense too, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, those it's kind of hard with the legality of like caffeine and cannabis and liquor and cannabis, but there's people are finding ways to go around it
Right.
and just have a good solid product. Uh,
Yeah, no, for sure. Another question that I had for you was that um oh, I lost it. I had it as we were talking. Oh, yes. The the competition, right?
mhm.
That catapulted you with the high times cannabis
Chef competition.
chef
Mhm.
competition. That competition, was it like when I think of a chef competition because of Julia and we're always watching the chef shows, was it like the Top Chef or the Chopped and things like that? What was that like paint the scene for us for with how this competition happened?
Yeah, it was actually a really cool idea. I hope that we can get back into those times of having cannabis more available in California like that. But it was a collaboration between Magical Butter and High Times, and I was like 300 chefs that applied to the competition. I believe eight of us competed, and I was able to win all three rounds. So it's a 3 round competition. It was a basket, so it was like a mystery
Oh,
basket.
so it was
Yeah,
like
it was a mystery basket plus the pantry, and then you had three ingredients that you could bring personally to give it your touch. And I remember I brought my chili powder, the one we use for
yeah,
the chili watermelon gummy, uh,
yeah.
sandia, and then hibiscus flower, and fuck, I can't remember the last one, but it was another thing I brought. And we had to incorporate that into the dishes and with the mystery basket, 30 minute timer and one on one, just straight up cooking. It was a great opportunity. I loved it.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Maybe we should create something like that. That's so
Hey, I there's definitely enough chefs out here that'll
yeah.
do something.
I'm sure. And so then that goes to my next question is I know with edibles being like the number one top seller in edibles, where do you see yourself as a chef maybe making savory meals for maybe those that can't take sugar? Like do you see anything down the line with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're here to innovate, and we're here to put good product out and to showcase our skills of cooking and culinary arts as much as we can. Obviously, in this industry, you need a lot of machinery to really hit market and be able to get into a lot of stores. But there's definitely the reason why we extract our own oil is so we can have control of the quality at all times. So us having that master oil that I create, I can diversify that into plenty of SKUs. It just depends on what the application could be. And so that's what we're working on right now. We're looking at like additive oils, like chili oil and garlic oil and things like that, that is very versatile and easy to use, and then have a lot of cooking shows or recipes to show in videos of how to use these oils and make it more of an experience of you trying to cook or use it as maybe on top of your soup or something.
Yeah.
So it's definitely in the works. It's just it to develop products and go through the whole thing. It takes a lot of time and capital. So we're still trying to
So
get there.
shout out. So what I'm hearing is we need investors. Get listen, our listeners, our
No, right?
viewers. If you're an investor, we have Mike here looking
Holler
for
at me.
investment. Yeah, holler at Mike because we need to make this happen. We we need to get these innovative ideas out there.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so we're gonna do a quick little game with you, boss. We'll do a little would you rather. Um, gonna go. I'm gonna ask you two questions, and you'll go ahead and choose which one's the best one for you.
Hit me.
And so I've seen on your posts, I've seen on your pages that you're smoking a lot, or you'll have different flower. Would you rather smoke or have an edible?
Oh, I'm a smoker.
You're a smoker.
I'm
All
a
right.
yeah. I'm a everyday couple J. I don't leave my house unless I have 10 J's on me.
Yeah,
Facts.
no.
I'm down. I'm down to two right now. Like
And it's only 5 o'clock.
I know. I, it's been one of those days, bro.
All right. Would you rather go back in time to visit your ancestors or visit your great great grandchildren?
um, I think ancestors. I think being a Mexican American always put me in this middle ground of like I don't really know much about America and I don't really know much about Mexico. But I feel very strong about my culture of being Latino and being 100% Mexicano. And, like, I think that would impact my life more to then maybe have better stories for my grandchildren.
I like that. That's a good answer. Um, would you rather have AC and heating for the rest of your life or no internet?
Oh, um, internet is king right now. So I think I can deal with the other two. I can find ways.
All right. All right. Would you rather hit the pause button in your life or a rewind button in your life?
That's a good one too. I think I've always lived on the fast lane. Like I've always had like a lot of pressure under like behind me. So I would say I think I would prefer to pause. I don't really like to rewind. Shit happens and that's just life. But
Sure.
I think a pause would probably be healthy at some point.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right about that because when we met up a few weeks ago in Palm Springs,
Yeah.
you make that run in and out that same night, and I was just like, what?
Bro, I know. I know. I don't know, man. It's just something about I have a mission in life. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out completely, but I think I'm in a good position. And thanks to you for giving me this platform to showcase my brand and talk to people about what I got going on, and even just a little bit more education. It goes a long way. So
Yeah,
I
no,
appreciate it.
absolutely. All right, we got a few more here. LA tacos or Tex-Mex?
Mm, you know what I don't like Tex-Mex because like Mexican food and back home is completely different than LA. But I have got I just ate some badass LA tacos here in Huntington Beach, and yeah, they got it going on. So I would say LA tacos for sure.
Okay, Huntington Beach, huh? They have some good tacos
Bro,
there.
it's just a little like a little team of people that just put up a tent and they get down, and
Okay, okay.
and They have lines, man, and
Yeah.
I'm hella proud because just in the like last week or two, they got a food truck, so that definitely means they've had the community support and making their dreams come true. So
Yeah. Oh,
that's
for sure.
everything.
Yeah. Last one here. Zombie apocalypse or robot apocalypse?
Oh, I'm all about zombies. I mean, robots, I might be harder to take down, but zombies, I might be big, but I can still trot. I can trot away, bro.
That lineman shot going, huh?
Yeah, I can backpedal away and shit, but robots, I don't think so. If anything, aliens, and if aliens come, I hope I hope they've smoked before. If not, that's the first thing we have to offer.
Yeah.
Don't offer anything but weed, bro. Like,
Try this.
you
Here,
know,
try this.
yeah. Here, leave us
Yeah,
alone.
yeah,
So,
I like that. Or if they're little, like here, try this.
yeah, down there. Yeah, you're right. We don't know.
Right. We're gonna switch gears a bit. We talked about sports a little bit, but I saw you're a Bucks fan.
I'm
How'd
a
that
huge
happen?
Bucks fan.
You're from El Paso. You went to Minnesota. How did being a Bucks fan of all teams, a
I know.
Bucks, Tampa Bay Bucks?
Well, you gotta remember, I was born in Florida,
Oh,
and
that's right. That's right.
I was born in Florida, and I went to school in Florida from like third grade to fifth grade, and a little bit in high school because I would always go between Mexico and the U.S. It's been crazy, bro. So, when in those years of my life of being third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, being in Clearwater, which is 20 minutes from Tampa, it
Yeah.
just kind of grew on me. And then when I went back to Mexico, they won the Super Bowl that same year,
Oh,
2013,
2000,
22 and 3.
2003. Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, I was like, "Yeah, this is my team." And then obviously we had a dump this whole time until the
So great.
glorious Tom Brady came by. And
Yeah.
yes, just yesterday's game, like I hadn't yelled that hard in my life. I almost
Oh,
passed
because they
out.
came back, right? They
No,
came back.
I almost passed out from how I was laughing this morning because I was like, yo, I almost passed out from how excited I was on cheering for a team. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy what that guy did for us. And
Yeah. So wait. So you weren't a fan back in like the orange creamsicle days, like
yeah, of
yeah.
course.
So you did. You followed it with Stevie when Stevie
Warren,
was on the
yeah,
team. And
Sap, all them guys.
got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Nice.
Warren
Okay.
Dunn.
And so what are your thoughts on the AB situation that happened yesterday?
Um, I'm like 50-50 on it because I know he's a diva and that's acceptable to him to do shit like that. But as like a fan and a professional athlete myself, that's just something you do behind closed doors. And to put your team jeopardize your team's look or the integrity of what they want is what it was shocking to me. It was crazy. I like one of the commentators said they'd never seen anything like that in the
I don't
30
think it's ever
years.
happened. I mean,
That's just some high
the
school. That's some semi-pro bullshit.
yeah. I mean, the closest to something like that was like when the one of the Davis brothers, Vontae Davis, like when he just retired at halftime, but it was behind closed doors and things like that, but never like that. That was insane.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we give you context? Yes. So yesterday's game. Um, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So there's a Bucks player, Antonio Brown, who third quarter of the game, you see him. He starts taking off his jersey, his
everything.
pads.
Yeah,
He takes it all off, and then he throws it on the sideline. And while the game is going, and this is all happening while the game is going on, like there's
yeah.
plays are being run, and he then starts to take off his gloves. He takes off his shirt, and then he goes and he throws it into the stands, and he just goes and runs off into the
And the
locker room,
tunnel. Yeah,
but even going into the locker room, like he's, as if
showboating, showboating.
yeah, he's showboating. He's like throwing his hands up, getting the fans to
Clown.
cheer. It's like imagine one of those the fans running onto the field and like kind of like throwing their hands up in the air. That's what he was doing as he was running out
Yeah.
in the middle of the game. So that's what happened with Antonio Bryan, and that's what I wanted to know. Like what were those stats? but
I'm
it was
using it.
insane. Look it up. You can see it everywhere. It's plastered everywhere if you look it up.
Yeah. I mean, I get a lot of people are defending him with the whole money situation and this and that, but come on, bro. Like 300K to you is nothing. So like you don't have to ruin your career for 300K.
Yeah,
Like come on. You can
yeah.
do that. You can do that in a commercial when you win the second Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, so going back to cannabis here. Um, how did how did COVID affect your career, if it even did, or did it spring shot or help you in the last 2 years?
I'm not gonna lie, COVID. I mean, we're um in the cannabis industry. We were allowed to work the whole time. You
Yeah,
know, I it, it I had to work alone a lot, but I was able to focus 100,000% on Dulce and on the brand and on getting out there. And as you see, I'm the one that does most of the PADs, the patient appreciation days. So me as the owner,
showing face.
I'm at these events, giving out dulce, aguas frescas. For the winter, I'm gonna have like champurrado, atole, little donuts, churros, because I just want people to have a good time. Come get your goods. Come get some treats. Give me a chance to showcase my gummies and try non-medicated samples, so you could try the flavors and the textures. And that's what I was able to do, and I really got to learn all the ins and outs of what I need to do to keep my brand alive and well. And that's what 22 is about.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the PADs and showing face, because that's one of the things that I did notice is that it from what it looks like, you put a lot of thought and a lot of work to branding yourself and showing your brand. I saw that you were published, by a Spanish news article, which I think was dope too, because I've always been saying like we got to figure out a way to translate this information, and
Mhm.
so to be published by a Spanish publication, which was
El planteo,
Planeto-
el planteo.
El Planteo.
Yeah.
I think that was dope. How did that come about?
Um, you know, the words kind of spreads of being Latino and Hispanic, and people want to reach out and people want to showcase what you got going on. I mean, there's not that many of us, so any opportunity that we get to showcase, that was a great publication. We also had Telemundo, one of their subsidiary people, come and do a video and give us a whole section on what we do and what I bring to the cannabis industry. And I personally want to be able to do more shows in Spanish and just
Yeah,
more education for the Latino community, because it's sad that we're still not consuming as much as we should, medicinally and recreationally. So that's what 2022 is about. I really want to find my way in the Latino community and just try to inform, let people know what's hot, what's not, make it fun, make it cool. Let people know about all the different dispensaries. Since I'm at all these dispensaries, I just want to be able to showcase the people behind the dispensary. How they treat people, how well they keep their products fresh, and just all these little things that I think could be very knowledgeable for the consumers in the industry and people that fly into California strictly for consumption.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Um, One of the questions here on the chat line: are you planning to come to Miami and bring your gummies as a medicinal brand? And to piggyback off of that, is that something that you've thought of maybe taking your formulas into other states that are legal, that are already legal and are becoming legal?
Yes. And that's always a hard question because obviously we're such a small oriented company, and like we do everything internal. At this point, it's all mostly licensing agreements. And the problem with licensing agreements is that people are set in their ways of doing things. And sometimes when someone like us that's trying to do something new and something different and innovative, sometimes isn't we're not able to get to what the product should be because there's not enough flour to go around, or the quality is too low in other states, or California. So it's the motherland of cannabis. So it's hard for me to replicate exactly what we're doing
Yeah.
in other states. But I think that the flavor, the dosing, and the whole aspect of the microdose, I think it definitely has a chance to go to any other state. I just have to do a lot of research on who I'm partnering up with to make sure those standards of quality control are set in place.
No, I definitely appreciate that you as the owner and the face, you're looking into that because you do want to be able to provide the quality for everyone, for the patients, for
Correct.
those that are looking to try this out.
Mhm.
Um, where can we find Dulce products here in California?
Here in California, we are at all the syndicate locations. They have 5 locations throughout Southern California. That they're one of our main sponsors. Obviously, Yerba LA, another great shop. Traditional, both locations. Mother Nature's Remedies. In San Diego, we are at the Cannabis in PB, and we're on ease right now. So we launched with ease, and we're doing really well with them. So I think that's one of the easiest ways to get it delivered to your home.
Yeah.
And we hope to expand with them these next couple months. So a lot of work ahead, but very excited to get Dulce into people's hands, and just give it a chance. Learn with us. It's all about learning your dose, being comfortable with yourself, making sure it makes your life a better quality of life at all times.
Yeah, and what about social media? How can we find you guys on social
Social
media?
media, Dulce, Dulze underscore Inc, Dulce Inc. You have to type out the whole thing because we are shadow banned. And at Chef Mike Moya or at Moya Fuma. That's kind of like my other 2 accounts that I'm trying to, just put more work in there, and little by little grow that persona that I'm trying to develop in the cannabis industry, and collaborations and working with farms. I have a lot of farms that I'm working with, and I really want to showcase what they do, and put the strains and be more strain specific when it comes to our extractions. And we have a lot of cool things, a lot of education, but that's just work, and we're
Yeah.
all about it. So
Yeah, no, and you can tell, like as some of the Laura and a few others have mentioned, you can hear the passion in the education that you want to be able to provide for the community, for your new consumers, because that's what it is, right? That's who your target. That's what it seems like your target audiences are, the new consumers, to be able to educate folks. We have Julia saying thank you for your work. So yeah, I just want to give you your flowers for the work that you're doing now, and I'm excited to see where you're gonna be at the end of the year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, because the way that it's starting to pick up, I think you're onto something, and I'm excited to see where that's gonna go.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Again, I mean, I'm just I love putting in the work, and I love hearing the positive feedback of what my product's been able to do for our consumers, of less pills, um, uh, less ailments, just able to use a product continuously. I think that just speaks louder than any words. And I'm very excited on the future projects that we have ahead of us, and the collaborations with other big brands that um, I'm really looking forward to that, and always giving back to the community with our PADs and our events, and the events that we get invited to. Always try to give back. I always have non-medicated samples on me at all times, so you see me, you reach out, you say what's up, you say you want to try them. I always have some non-medicated dulce on me to spread the word. And again, thank you for everyone that goes out there and buys our product. Like that's a dream come true for me to be in this chair right now explaining about my cannabis brand that I've put about 5 6 years into it. So
Yeah.
6 years from now, I can only.
What was that like? What was that like to make your first sale?
Oh man, my forget the first sale, man. Just the first time of me putting that COA sticker on the bag,
Ah,
like I almost cried, man. I was like, this is it. This is a last step before it hits the public, and
yeah,
it's been a year. We sold a good amount for our first
yeah.
year. And now we want more stores. We want to be in more areas.
So, bef- and maybe because I know the industry, but so you also do all of the packaging and the labeling and all of that before it, and then you also handle the sales part.
At this point, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
again, we're in a situation where I'm independent,
yeah.
um, and I have a brand, and I have to put a lot of work into it mm, because
You
that's
bet
just
it
the way
out.
we are growing.
Yeah,
I do have coworkers and
sure.
friends and
You
a
got a
team
team with
that
you. Yeah,
yeah, I have a small team with me that can crank a lot of edibles. So I'm very happy with the team that's allowed me to get to where I'm at. Um, but we are all very busy in our own lane. So
yeah.
uh,
No, and
it,
I just wanted to showcase that for the listeners to also see that, you know, although you're the owner of the brand, you're also, you're putting in the work as well, not just speaking about it and being on shows and talking about it, but also really like you're in the nitty gritty of like labeling as well and putting these things, in place. And I think that's dope to hear.
yeah, I mean, I've been hands on with everything. I designed the bag. Uh, oh, I made sure the bag needed to be the way it is, and I put a lot of time into and making sure the colors are right. And there's again, it's not impossible. I just think it takes a lot of patience, and really it's just patience because you deal with so many different aspects of what it takes to build a brand that you could get lost in many
Yeah,
ways. So
yeah,
so just keeping up with it, as you
yeah,
know, is a challenge itself. But as we grow, we are able to bring on more family and more friends and more people of trust, and slowly teach them those smaller parts so that we could collectively push out the product that needs to be out in the distro.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And like I said, I appreciate that, and I'm sure the listeners and viewers appreciate that you're also putting in the work for yourself, man, and I get that. Um, any last words?
No, like I said before, thank you for the opportunity, and I'll come back at the end of March, and we'll have another conversation on seeing, where we're at, and both of us, collectively,
Yeah,
and their sponsors and everyone that we're doing work with. I just want to be very transparent on the fact that we do put a lot more work into our edibles, and I'm going to do whatever I can on my end to educate on why we do things the way we do, and show people also with some cool visuals how we got to where we are, because I think that story in a couple of years is gonna be a lot cooler.
absolutely. We got Julia here. You designed it? I always assume nice packaging means that there's women involved. That's great, and I stand corrected.
No, no, no. Actually, a woman developed my brand, my whole brand. Her name is Josie Haney. If she ever gets to hear this, here's plenty of the shout outs that I give you, because a lot of my team are women. Like it's almost 50-50 when it comes to Dulce, because it is needed. The product is made for women. Like I I want I knew
We should have
women want
started
to have
here.
control. They want to have control. I understand you guys want to have control at all times, and I wanted to make a product that's easy for you to control. And And so yeah, this product was developed by a woman. Obviously, I helped the idea, but it has a woman's touch, and I've always loved a woman's touch on my product because I feel like in the cannabis industry, it's all dude stuff.
Yeah. No,
It's all
I knew it. I knew it.
it's all dude stuff. Yeah, Julia, you're right. Women run this industry. You guys, people don't understand that, but I've been a part of a lot of women owned events where only women are allowed, but they love my product and they love my vibes and they love what we represent. So we've always supported those events and equality as much as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I they do. They do run it, and
My
they're
main chef, my main chef, she's a woman, Savannah Marcus. She's 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 my right hand. She's the one that gets most of the product out. I do the extractions. Like I said, my team is small, but we play a lot of roles because of our nature
sure.
of being a brand new company.
Yeah, you
But
said Savannah.
Savannah,
So
Savvy,
we
yeah.
got to get Savannah on the show too. We got to hear her story and how she got
Hell yeah.
to being
She's
there.
not much of a talker, but we can get a little small one there going.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure we can make that happen.
I'll
We'll
bring
get
I'll bring her I'll bring her in March.
okay.
That way she can.
Yeah, no, that I think you know what. Let's see about doing that because March is women. I think is Women's History Month. So let's see about getting that. Let's see about getting that together and let's have her story and see how she complements the brand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Let's make that happen for sure.
I got you.
All right. Well, for our listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. We got a few more announcements. We record every Monday at 4:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at the TGN Latinx station and the Good News Radio app. We're live on YouTube. You can always check us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Said Connects, or you can also subscribe to the TGN Latinx YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us at Instagram at said_connects. That's CED_connects. If you didn't get to, if you don't listen to the live episode, you can listen to this episode. It'll be streaming on Spotify and Apple on Wednesdays. I want to give a shout out to our social equity sponsors, Seventh Wave and their brands, 4Gs, along with the long list of brands that they're coming on board with them. We got Dope Flavors, who they're going to be coming on our show at the end of the month. They have Powell's, I'm sorry, who they were on a few weeks ago. So check out Seventh Wave, Joyous 420 with their Fuego 415 and the Fizz, and Bianca Star Agency, who's looking to be opening up a shop in San Francisco pretty soon. So shout out to you guys for being our social equity sponsors. And again, we want to thank you, Mike, for coming in and hanging out with us. I appreciate you for spending some time with us, man, and really showcasing the brand, man. Really thank you.
No, anytime. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in a couple months with some new info and some cool new details.
Yeah, absolutely. And for our listeners and viewers, again, thank you guys for tuning in every week with us. We're here for you to be able to help educate and empower our communities. So thank you guys for tuning in. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. See you guys.